App listing in Google Play in 2026. In 2026, your Google Play app listing is no longer just a page with text and screenshots. It's how Google decides wherever your app even deserves to be shown. Hi, I am Anna, an ASO specialist, and in this video we'll break down how Google Play app listing will work in 2026. We'll talk about which listing elements actually impact visibility and ranking, how Google evaluates text, visuals, and consistency, why users' behavior and app quality matter more than ever, and how to think about ASO as a system, not just keyword optimization. This won't be just theory. There will be a lot of practical examples, real app listings, and hands-on analysis throughout the video. So, if you want to understand how Google Play decides to get shown and who doesn't, you're in the right place. Let's start by breaking down the key elements inside the listing that directly impact visibility and ranking. In Google Play, everything comes down to two big layers: text and visuals. And what's important, Google doesn't evaluate them separately anymore. It looks at how they will work together and wherever they match the real app experience. Let's start with the text elements because this is where indexing begins. App title, up to 30 characters. The app title is still the strongest text-based factor for indexing in Google Play. But here's the key shift in 2026. It's no longer about how many keywords you can sneeze in. It's about precision and relevance. A good title should do three things at the same time. Clearly reflect what the app does, include the most relevant search query, and stay reliable for a real person. If the title looks mechanical or over-optimized, users hesitate and lower conversion eventually hurts ranking. So the goal is balance. Match search intent and make sense at first glance. Short description, up to 80 characters. The short description still contributes to indexing, but its main job is something else: first impression. This is often the first line users actually read, and Google treats it as a part of a listing overall meaning. Best practice here is simple. Use one or two relevant queries naturally. Focus on users' value, not feature lists. And remember, this line directly impacts CTR and installs. A helpful mindset. Your short description should answer "Why should I install this?" not "What buttons does this app have?" Full description, up to 4,000 characters. The full description is still indexable, but in 2026, its role is more about explaining value and confirming relevance. Google understands semantic much better now, so what really matters is clear structure, natural language, and alignment with what the app actually does. Yes, keywords near the beginning and in the heading still matter, but repetition alone no longer works. Instead of asking, "How often can I use this keyword?" it's more effective to ask, "What real users need to stand behind this query?" Because Google compares your description with users' behavior after install. If the text promises one use case and the app delivers another, you'll see lower conversion, early installs, and weaker visibility over time. The developer name is indexed and visible in search results, so it becomes part of the listing context. It can straighten relevance, especially across multiple apps. Keyword stuff developer names might help short-term indexing, but they usually hard trust, and trust matters more in 2026. Package name, app ID. The package name is mostly technical. Its impact in ranking is limited, but it's important and large because it can be changed later. Think of it as a supporting element, not something that can fix weak ASO on its own. Visual elements of the listing. Now let's switch to visuals, because even perfect text won't work if visuals don't support the decision to install. The icon doesn't affect text indexing, but it has a direct impact on CTR. And since conversion influences visibility, the icon indirectly affects ranking too. In simple terms, if users don't tap, Google will notice. Screenshots are evaluated by both users and algorithms. Google Play uses machine learning to understand text and visuals, which means the first screenshots must clearly show the main use case. On-image text should reinforce the value, and the visual style should fit the category. The first 1-3 screenshots should explain what the app does and why it's useful. If users can understand the value in a few seconds, conversion drops and rankings become unstable. Video isn't mandatory, but in competitive niches, it can significantly improve conversion. It's especially useful when the app flow is complex or when trust is a key factor. If the text and screenshots can fully explain the outcome, video often bridges that gap. Practical part. So now we have covered the key text and visual elements of the app listings. Let's move from theory to practice. I'll show you how I usually work with listings in real life, starting from market analysis and moving to metadata creation. To show you in practice how well-known apps use all these elements, I use ASOMobile App Analytics. If you want to check out your category, I'll leave the link in the description. There are many free tools for analysis here. To start, I add an app to the platform by clicking the plus application button. It can be my own app or any competitor. No permissions are required. Once the app is added, I go to App Report. This is where I quickly check all the key elements that impact visibility and conversion and compare them with competitors. What I personally like here is the ability to analyze real market patterns, not just numbers. Let's take a fitness app as an example. When I open App Report, I focus on how the title is structured, which benefits appear in the short description, and what messages are pushed in the first screenshots. For fitness apps, a very clear pattern appears. Titles usually combine the main use case with a benefit, like workouts, weight loss, or home training. The first screenshots rarely show the full interface. Instead, they highlight outcomes: get stronger, lose weight, build a habit, train at home. You'll also notice what captions on screenshots focus on results, not features. Not custom plans, but personalized workouts. Not tracking system, but see your progress. This tells us one important thing. In fitness apps, users won't understand what results they get before they install. Let's switch to a completely different category, a mobile game, for example, Roblox. When I analyze Roblox in App Report, the logic changes entirely. Here, screenshots are not about explaining features, they're about showing gameplay variety, creativity and freedom, social interaction and fun. The first screenshots immediately answer, what can I do in this game? What does the experience look like? Instead of long captions, you'll often see short emotional phrases, dynamic scenes, visuals that communicate, play, create, and explore. In App Report, you can clearly see which gameplay moments, Roblox, and phases, how visuals carry the main message, and how consistent the experience looks from the store page to the actual game. For games like Roblox, users don't want explanations, they want to feel the experience before installing. By comparing these two categories side by side, it becomes clear. There is no universal perfect listing. Each category has its own visual language, messaging style, and users' expectations. I'm not copying competitors, I'm building hypotheses. What users are already used to seeing, which patterns dominate the category, and where I can test something different in screenshots, captions, or positioning. This is usually how my market analysis starts before I move on to creating or optimizing the listing itself. Now I'll show you how I personally work with text elements, call it metadata, titles, short description, and full descriptions, step by step. Before we move to metadata creation, one important note. Normally, metadata creation doesn't start here. Here's keyword research, analysis, and prioritization before that. I already have videos on the channel where I walk through these steps in detail, link in the description. For this video, I'll skip these preparatory steps and focus on the core part. Now let me show you how to use your list of keywords to create descriptions that will appeal to both Google Play algorithms and users. To do this, I use the ASO Creator tool. Let's break it down using a photo editing app as an example. So, at this point, I already have a keyword list. On the left, you'll see the full keyword list. On the right, your metadata fields, app title, short description, and full description. Then I start filling in these fields using keywords from the list. Every time I use a keyword, it will get highlighted in the list, so I can track my progress live and make sure I don't miss any keywords. Here I can clearly see how many characters I've used, which keywords are included, and how everything fits within Google Play limits. At the top, we see a progress bar showing how many keywords we've used. You'll also see the total traffic score of the keywords you've added to your metadata, a helpful way to track potential reach. This helps your app get indexed and the most relevant searches. By the way, Google Play's algorithm expects keywords to appear multiple times in your text. That's not recommended for use in the App Store. For the full description, I often use AI to generate first draft. Just go to the AI generation tab, type a few words about your app, and in seconds, AI will generate a fully ASO-optimized description for Google Play. You can copy or download the metadata and paste it into the appropriate fields in the Google Play console. You can already do quite a lot with the free version, but for deeper analysis, more competitors, more markets, and history, the paid features really help. I also have a 30% discount promo code ASO listing, which works for any ASOMobile plan. What changed in 2026? So we talk about the key elements that impact visibility and ranking, text and visuals, and how Google evaluates them together. But in 2026, this is only part of the bigger picture. Google Play now treats the app listings as a single product context. That means text, visuals, category, and even developer metadata must tell one clear and consistent story about what your app does and who it's for. And this has a very practical consequence. Visibility today depends not only which keywords you use, but on how well your entire page matches a specific user's intent. Let me explain this with a simple example. Imagine a photo editing app. A user searches for photo editor with filters. Google expects to see visuals that highlight filters presets before-after photos. But another user searches for remove background from photo. Now, the same app should emphasize background removal, cutout examples, and precision tools. Same app, different keyword, different expectation from the app page. This is exactly where custom product pages come into play. Custom product pages allow you to show different versions of your app page depending on the user's intent. For example, based on the keyword they search for or the ad they come from. And this isn't just about conversion. Algorithms use this context to better understand what your app actually does, which query is truly matches, and which audiences it's relevant for. To see how this works in real life, I usually work with visual comparison to analyze how top apps tailor their visuals for different audiences. Let's take a look at the top apps in the photo and video category. When we look at top photo and video apps inside the category, a few clear patterns appear. Most screenshots focus on the final result, not the process. For example, before-after photos, enhanced images, clean backgrounds. Visual quality, sharp image, high constant, strong colors. Simple value propositions like remove background in one tap. Professional filters, AI photo enhancement. Very often, the interface itself is secondary. What matters most in the outcome, what the users will get after editing a photo or video. This tells us something important. In category browsing, users are not looking for features yet, they are looking for visual promises. Now let's switch from the category view to a specific search query. And this is where things get really interesting. For example, for keywords like AI photo editor or enhanced photo quality, screenshots often highlight. AI labels, face or image improvements, dynamic before-after comparisons. For queries like background removal, visuals focus on object isolation, clean cutouts, transparent or studio-style backgrounds. For more creative keywords like photo filters or Instagram presets, screenshots user emphasis, aesthetics, mood, lifestyle imagery, trendy colors and styles. On the screen, you can clearly see how the same app changes its message depending on the search intent. The core product is the same, but the visual story adapts to what the user is actually looking for. Why this matters for visibility? This is exactly the logic behind custom product pages. They allow you to align a specific keyword with the most relevant visuals and the clearest value proposition. For Google Play, this creates a much stronger context signal. The app matches the query, the visuals confirm the promise, and users are more likely to install. And higher relevance and better users' behavior usually lead to more stable visibility over time. At the same time, it's important to be honest. A listing alone will not guarantee top positions. It works together with users' behavior and overall app quality. But, and this is critical, the listing is still the starting point. It defines how your app is indexed, which queries it can appear for, and wherever it even enters search results and curated collections. In 2026, Google Play relies heavily on machine learning. It doesn't evaluate fields in isolation. It compares your listing text, visuals, category, and what users actually do after installation. That's why integrity and coherence matter more than ever. When your listing clearly explains the product and the in-app experience confirms that promise, visibility becomes much more stable. If you want to dive deeper and see step-by-step examples of custom store listing, I have a full video on the channel. Localization and personalization. In 2026, localization is no longer just translation. With custom store listing, you can adapt listings for different countries and languages, match specific search queries, and speak to different audience segments. Different markets search differently, react to different value promises, and respond to different visuals. From an ASO perspective, localization is about matching intent, not just changing words. One tool I personally really like is GeoChecker. It helps you understand how apps adapt their listings for different countries, without guessing. I can actually see how competitors localize their titles, descriptions, and screenshots across markets. For example, let's take a shopping app. In the US version, screenshots often highlight discounts, fast delivery, and promotional messaging, like up to 50% off today, or free shipping. But when we switch to the Japanese market, the same app may emphasize product aesthetics, seasonal collections, and visual, rich catalog-style layouts, because users often pay more attention to presentation and product storytelling. In some European markets, screenshots may focus more on quality, sustainability, or brand selection, highlighting trusted brands or eco-friendly positioning. These patterns are deeply connected to culture context. By analyzing how competitors localize both text and visuals, you can build much stronger hypotheses. This is how ASO turns into a real experimentation system, not just a set of random updates. If you want to go deeper, I have a full video on the channel where I show how to use GeoChecker step by step in practice. So far, we have covered what's inside your listing, but Google doesn't rank apps based on the listing alone. It's also about how the store sees your app and the signals it gathers from users. Now let's quickly see what Google Play itself says about discovery and ranking. The store's goal is simple: help users find apps they will actually enjoy. Apps are shown not only in search, but also on the homepage, in collections, editorial picks, and across devices. Google favors apps that are high quality, relevant to the user's query, and provide a positive experience. To do this, it looks at more than your listing. It checks the app's functionality, users' behavior, ratings, and reviews. So, in 2026, your listing sets expectations, but users' experience and behavior confirm them. Next, we'll explore exactly how listing optimization and app quality work together, and why behavioral signals are now key for ranking stability. Google Play isn't one size fits all. It shows apps differently depending on where users look, search, recommendations, charts, or collections. That means rating factors are weighted differently depending on context. First, user relevance. Google looks at search queries, users' intent, metadata, and app category. For exact searches, like a specific app name, it shows precise results. For bot searches, like photo editing, app quality and users' experience matter too. Second, quality of users' experience. Google cares about more than in-app experience. Pre-install matters too. This includes icons, title, description, screenshots, video, alignment between listing and app, and support quality. Stability, performance, design, and proper ad behavior also influence ranking. Third, editorial value and ads. Editors curate apps for the collections, seasonal campaigns, special placements, and labels like editor choice. Paid promotions are always clearly labeled, shown alongside organic results, never replacing them. ASO takeaway. Depending on the surface, Google weights factors differently. Search. Query match is key. Recommendation: users' experience and predicted interest. Charts: popularity plays a bigger role. So, when you analyze performance, ask which surface is driving traffic, what's behind a gain or drop in visibility, how the listing and app quality work together in 2026. Now that we've seen how Google Play organizes and ranks apps, here's the key: is not just about your listing, it's about how well your app delivers on those promises. A listing can drive a quick visibility boost, but long-term ranking depends on app quality and users' behavior. This brings us to a key concept for ASO in 2026. The listing and app quality work hand in hand. Your metadata creates the pool of queries your app can appear for. Your visuals drive clicks and installs, but it's the user's experience and app performance that determine how stable your ranking will be over time. So in practice, Google Play looks at several key things to decide how your app ranks. First, install and active users, not just the number of installs, but wherever people actually use your app and come back. High-quality retention signals to Google that your app delivers real value. Second, conversion from impressions to install. How well your listing convinces someone to tap install. Strong visuals, clear text, and a compelling first impression all matter here. Third, ratings and reviews, the overall score, trends over time, and the content of reviews. Positive, detailed feedback boosts credibility. Negative patterns can lower visibility. Fourth, technical health, stability, performance, and proper functioning across devices. Google uses tools like Android Vitals to check this. One more thing, Google Play has rules you can't ignore. From content policies to ad behavior, subscriptions, and in-app purchases. Breaking them can hurt both visibility and users' trust. ASO isn't just about optimization, it's also about staying compliant and delivering a safe experience. Fifth, meeting users' expectations. Does the app deliver what the listing promises? A mismatch here can hurt conversion, retention, and long-term ranking. In short, even the best listing can save a poorly performing app. That's why in 2026, listing optimization and product quality need to work together as one system. Your listing sets expectations, but real app quality keeps users happy and straight in visibility. In 2026, ASO isn't just about the listing, it's about the whole user's experience. Remember, ASO isn't just tweaking your listing, it's building a product users love. If you want to dig deeper into ASO strategies and see step-by-step examples, check out more videos on our channel where I show practical tips and tools in action.